get this, I went to see the school counsellor for help. I went to see the school counsellor for help. So I'm sitting there, I go in there and I'm sitting on the chair. So, yeah, put this down here. So he's on a chair. So I sit down on a chair, like this, because I'm a teenager, of course. And he gets off his chair and lays down on the floor. And I'm sitting there, what's going on here? And then he taps the floor beside him and says, you can join me if you like. I'm starting to get a little bit worried now. I'm thinking, I'm not going on the floor next to you. And then he says, I like to lay on the floor sometimes. It helps me to really think about my problems. And I'm thinking, well, fair enough, I'm not laying on the floor next to you. And then he turns over on the floor and he curls up into a ball like this and starts shaking and crying.
What?
He starts crying. And then he says, my wife has left me. And he starts talking about his wife leaving him. I'm sitting on the chair, looking at him and thinking, what's that got to do with me? I came to you for help. Who's the counsellor? So that was my, that was me asking for help though. Another time, because things were getting rough at home, my dad was laying into me, it was fists and all, it was full on. And real violence, real aggressive stuff. And so when I went to school and I had all the stuff that I carried with me, so at one point the counsellor thought, well, what you need to do is talk to the DP, the deputy principal. He'll know what to do. So he takes me to see the DP. The DP says, not a problem, Tim. I'll just give your dad a phone call and we can sort this out over the phone. I don't know about some of the people you guys know, but my dad, the principal ringing my dad to have a little chat on the phone about what's going on at home. Man, in my family, you shut your mouth. You don't tell anybody. When I started writing my first books, I had family members ringing me. You better shut up. If you don't shut up, we'll make you shut up. And they're serious. So the DP's there, he's on the phone, he's ringing my dad to tell my dad that, to talk about what's going on at home. And I'm standing there thinking, oh man, don't do this. See, the DP had no understanding of what my life was like. So he gets on the phone, he rings my dad, and thankfully my dad was asleep. My dad drank a lot. And when he went to sleep, he just went out. So thankfully my dad was asleep, because if he had picked up the phone, man, I would have got a major hiding. Yes, so that's why I didn't do so well at school. I had all that sort of stuff. And a little while after that, they asked me to leave school. Don't come back. Ever. Oh, but get this. Since I got kicked out of school, a few years later, of course, I became an author. I've been back to that school many times to talk to the students about writing books. Get that? They kicked me out, then they asked me to come back later on when I'm a published author. So I come back, and now the thing was, I walk into this, and these are college kids, they're sitting there in their chairs like this, they see me walk in, who's this for? Not wanting to listen at all, and the first thing that I say to them, my name's Tipene, I got kicked out of this school, and those boys on the chairs are like, this guy might be interesting. I think the teachers are probably thinking, oh no. And I'm sitting up, the students all sit up and we're away. Makes it a bit easier for them. So I didn't do well at school, but that doesn't mean that my future had to be interfered with, I made changes. Coming back to the change word again, I made changes. And that took a while. I didn't want to be like my mum and dad. And like I said, I don't want my children to be scared of me. And I thought that if I didn't want to be like them, that would automatically happen. I didn't realise that I was going to have to work it. And then one day I realised, man, next thing I'm going to have to work at this. It seems so unfair to be so mistreated as a child, then that me to have to fix it up when I get older. You know, but that's what I had to do. And I wanted to be different. I wanted to break the cycle. Yes, sir.
Would you ever leave Warrior Kids?
Oh, sometimes I get tired. Warrior Kids is pretty heavy, but in some ways I'll always do it, yes, because I believe in it. You know, and I would have liked the reason I did Warrior Kids, because I would have liked that when I was a kid. I wanted that sort of support when I was a kid. And I wanted a place where people would talk honestly. You know, like the DP and the counsellor, they wouldn't talk honestly about what was going on. You know, my family, they were full on. I mean, my dad, right, going down the northwestern motorway. We're going to Western Springs. Driving down the road there, you know, his arms out there, you know, and there's ladies. They were obviously out having a good time. 2 ladies in the car, laughing away, and they had their children in the back. They pulled in front of my dad. You just don't do that. So my dad said. They came back over to the slow lane. My dad said, wind your window down. My dad drives up alongside this car with these 2 ladies. They're having a lovely time to drive around. Kids in the back. My dad comes up alongside them. Everywhere down his mouth is a swear word, you know. I mean, my dad was little, but when he got big, when he got angry, man, he was big, you know. And he thought he was tough. The big thing was he thought he was these ladies driving. You know, and that's what my dad. That's what my dad was like. Yeah, he thought he was pretty tough. There was there was touching in my life that was not safe, and so there are a lot of kids these sort of things happen to, and it's not okay. So when I see kids come to me and they've been touched in ways that are not safe, that's not good. Whether they're being hit or whether someone's trying to touch them, you know, in their private parts or something like that, that's not okay. That's not safe. Yeah, I know, it makes us feel uncomfortable, eh? And I hate to think anything like that was happening to anybody here. And if it is though, talk about it. Talk to someone. Talk to Miss Hankin or someone. Get some support. Get some help. Because it's not okay and it stuffs up your future. It does. It ruins your future. And people can think that it's love. Like when I was a kid, I thought it was. But it's not. It's not at all. And it actually hurts you. It hurts your future. So never think like that. Even doesn't matter what the person says. Nah, not good enough. So don't ever put up with that. And you know, you can laugh about it because that laughter is what we do when we feel uncomfortable and things like that. It helps it to take it in easier. So yeah, please, look after yourself. You right there, buddy? Yeah. So that's when work gets hard, when those sorts of things come in, because then I've got to work out, okay, what do we do now? What's the best way to approach the family about that? Yes. Sad, eh? You know, I always wish I was a superhero.
Superman. Make the world a safer place.
I wish I wore tights. And I wish I wore my underpants on the outside. And I could fly around, you know, and I wouldn't go around saving the world from planes crashing in. I would just fly around, and when mums and dads were not doing the right thing, when they were getting angry, or frustrated, or when they were fighting, I could just fly in there. Oi! Cut it out! You know? Go in the kitchen, have a cup of tea, and talk about this properly. But chances are they probably wouldn't listen to me. Imagine the dads would look at me, I'm not listening to you! Why not? You got your underpants on the outside! Wouldn't look normal, would it? So, but you know, I wish I was though. I wish I could go around and stop a lot of this sort of stuff from happening. And I'm trying to in my own way, through books and through Warrior Kids. I'm trying to do that in my own way. Because I remember what it was like when I was a kid. And I did want someone to come and save me. There were times I was really scared and you know, it was never nice.